Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials?
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessler, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Friday, July 11th, 2025. As we head into the second half of the year, love those UFO hearings, love what Congress has done, love the direction we're going. We have so many great things to talk about here tonight, especially the movement that's not happening in Washington, D.C. Yeah, I know. We've all been looking at the Senate calendar to see if something's been scheduled yet. Nope. We got 2 weeks left. 2 weeks, my friends, at the end of the end of July to get this hearing through before things actually happen. Before I get into myself too much, let me go ahead and just welcome up our audience. And I know I'm jumping around, but let's have some fun with it. Who we have in the audience? We have Anne Marie, Anonymous Rex Anton Ghost, along with Kathy Spire. I see Craig Smith, Destiny Rocks, Dr. Julie's here, along with Adat, Eliza Teal, Evan B, Firefly, Geraldine Durazio's here. How about that? We got Greg Howell, Gunham Disclosure, Idaho Strong's in the chat. Another friend from Idaho. Good to see you, my friend. JB's here, along with Jay Cat, Jonathan Horvat. Good to see you, my friend. Jay Paul, and Kelly Burrow with those piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, Kelly. Where's Kathy? She's not here either. Martine Unprepared's here, along with Max Guffin, Mr. Grimlock, Mr. Joey B, and we have our resident Pitbull, Mr. Niles Guy. Good to see you, my friend. Paul DeMond's here, along with PC Anderson, Reality Check VIP, Roni Deal, Rodney Cox, Sam, Sander Jude, Shelly Montgomery, along with Salon Fallujah, Steve Hines, the Coin 405, the Gamma Jig, Truck and Pawpaw, 2 Midgets on a Horse, and Unknown Supporter. Well, can't forget Yellow Tommy Tanker. You're out there as well, my friends. Thanks for coming in tonight. It's been a great show. See you in a bit. No. No, my friends, I need to hide that logo. We're just here having some fun. Happy Friday, everybody. Did you have a good week? Did your Fridays come soon enough? Is it warm enough for you? Everything right now, we had whopping 79 degrees here finally. It's a scorcher. Low humidity, not too bad. Not as bad as our friends in the United Kingdom who had a lovely 92 or plus degrees going on. And Mike, how was your temperature today on the East Coast?
It was about 83, 84 degrees.
Yeah.
Up and down. Yeah. Sunny. It was all right.
Yeah.
A little bit of a breeze, but better than the really 90-degree, very humid weather we've had here that I've been complaining about for the past week. Yeah, I'm happy.
Oh, gosh, yes. And, hey, we even saw a video yesterday of Representative Tim Burchett. He's not calling out it's a cover-up because that sucker's still on vacation right now. I'm jealous. Until they come back on the 14th. But changing a spare tire, or putting on a spare tire on his little convertible he got for his graduation present when he graduated high school. Boy, Mike, I would have loved a convertible when I graduated from high school. How about you?
Oh, my God, yeah. No convertible for me.
Yeah, I couldn't even get a driver's license because my parents couldn't afford the insurance. And I couldn't afford it either, so yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Those were the days.
Yeah, you scrap, the parents and the family scrapped to make ends meet, but we all got to where we are today. It just made us a little bit stronger for everything that's going on.
It certainly did, and it shows. So that's a good thing.
Oh, you better believe it, my friend. Now, the top story of the day. What the hell is it? Oh, yeah, there it is. Air Force confirms drone swarms. Wright-Patterson incursion unmasked. Yeah, Mike, we finally have a decent picture of the crafts that were flying in over Wright-Patterson. What's it been? Almost a couple of years now since this event happened?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it took that long, I guess, for the information to come out.
Yeah, it took that long for John Greenwald, bless his little soul, to go ahead and I wonder if it's made out of latex. Could be. It could be, my friend. Just anyway, I'm sorry, my hands are feeling kind of looby right now, even bringing that up. But anyway, great job for John Greenwald to go ahead and actually do the FOIAs and bring it out. Now, while there was a lot of equipment that was used at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Air Force Base, unfortunately, Mike, the videos we received were limited, or John received and we're bringing it out today, were limited to videos from an iPhone once again.
Right.
No infrared, nothing, no night vision, no advanced imaging techniques, no nothing. The only thing they ever give us is a frickin' iPhone picture. And again, they've got to be like on iPhone 8, or older technology, because you know why? They have the crappiest night vision on these cameras. It's like they're putting them in people's hands to have them record stuff that no one will ever be able to figure out what it is. Do you think that could be a reason for that?
I don't think it's a coincidence. I think they were very selective about what they were going to release through the FOIA. Yeah. We know that already.
Oh, gosh, yes. Absolutely. Oh, those were the days. Now let's get into this, Mike. Where am I at? All right, so if we jump into the overall event we're talking about here, Mike. Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. Just keep your mic muted until you talk. It'll make things a little easier. Hey, Mike, you there?
Yeah.
All right, we got you back up again. I know we're a little ad hoc here. We use Google Meet for some of the stuff, but for some of the stuff we do, nothing else does what it can do for our show.
Yeah, it works.
Oh yeah. So
even with the quirks, yeah.
Yeah. So if I get desktop only, no, not that one. No, not that one. Where is it at? No, that's not it. I've got that one now. Guess desktop. All right, here we go. Close. I have too many scenes in OBS, but we get there. But it's a little cut off now, but I can fix that just a little bit. All right. So what are we talking about? We're talking about a summary of an unidentified aerial incursions that happened over Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, based on a FOIA case starting with 2025 01757. And a whole bunch of letters after, which I am not going to count out. Now, in the overall FOIA that came out, a bunch of information was delivered over to John Greenwald in, what was it, Mike, 66 pages of data?
Yes, there was a lot of data.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff there to go through, but the biggest thing we can go ahead and actually take from that, bring this down a little bit, is go through the timeline of events for all the videos and, actually. Let me do one thing here. I'll do it. I'll probably hate myself in the morning, but I'll do it anyway. Because I know people are going to want to see this, but I got to figure out where the hell to put it. Put it down here. Blow it up a little bit. Give me a second here. Tell it to play. Turn that off. Go to let me go to here. Give me a second. Window. I want to tell this to loop. There we go. Bring this around here. I think I can bring this to about here, but then I can bring this up and have it playing while we're looking at it. How about that? So now we've got a video up and playing and things are going on. Sorry for the flashing, folks, if you're there, but it's just one of the best videos that were out there coming from this thing that we're talking about here today. So back into this. So at 21:38 p.m., that is what, 7 p.m., Mike? 7:38? No.
It's 7:38, yeah.
No, 9:38. 21.
21. Well, it's 12 hours, so
either way.
Basically, yeah. No, it's 12 hours. So that's 9:10. No.
9:38.
9:38. That's it.
Close enough. Audience, if we're wrong, please correct. We are not the best on this, but you know what? It's been a long day, and I haven't had to do a conversion between military time and the time the way the United States does it. So let's move into it. So at 21:38, civilian witness walking dog near Airway Road and Harshman Avenue reports multiple drone/UAVs over I guess I can't
Wright-Patterson.
Yeah,
Air Force Base.
Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. All right, we're going to keep on losing this either way. So at 21:35 to 22:56, multiple base patrols observe between the 3 to 5 airborne lights over the National Museum of the USAF, blinking red and white lights. Also, an unexplained aircraft maneuvers and hovering behavior over secured zones. Going on from there, moving up about not 9. What do you call it now? 56, 03. Well, no, I'm just talking. No, you're only talking. Not even 10 minutes. 8 minutes later. 7 minutes later, give or take. Where are we at? Aircraft sightings on Area A of base around 2030 is reported retrospectively. So someone saw something around 2030 and they reported at 2203. So that's actually
10:03.
Yeah, 1003. The first report coming in at 1003 is reported retrospectively at that time.
8:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 90 minutes, a little over 90 minutes.
Right. So at 2241, is that 1041? I think so.
That's 10:41, correct.
The Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Fire Department, dispatched with thermal imaging to verify the aerial presence. Michael?
What's with why the fire department? Like, that doesn't even sound like it's under their duties.
Well, it's not. But if there are people at the fire department, right, they're outside washing the fire trucks or polishing something, or hanging out behind the fire department, whether that's on the field or wherever, they saw something. And what's the old saying, Michael? If you see something, say something, right?
Correct. Plus, the fire department has forward-looking infrared thermal imaging, and they look for hot spots of heat or fire that isn't in an open flame, but can it come out like in a building. So they use that type of equipment to heat imaging.
So they're there because they have the equipment and the military doesn't.
Right.
I would maybe say the military doesn't, but potentially the officers in the fire department had the equipment readily available, so they pulled it out and they did some observation with it. Maybe they heard over the base announcements. We don't know what was being announced on the base, if they made any broad announcements, or if there are any communications going out telling people go outside and look up. Heck, we do that on a regular basis here, Mike, when we don't have a show.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Oh yeah, of course, Michael. Happy to. All right, let's move next. Visual now at 23, 34, 43, and I believe that's 1143, right, Mike?
1143, correct.
Yeah, visual confirmation of a mysterious craft descending toward flight line, appearing to be to nearly land before pulling up and vanishing. So came down like it was going to crash, but then pulled up and skedaddled all the way out there. You wonder if they some kind of communication was lost, something went on with the craft from the different anti-drone technology that they were trying to deploy, or more, it was a show of force saying, hey, look what we can do.
Right. It was rubbing our faces in this activity because there wasn't a damn thing we could do about it.
Yeah. Exactly. But I do have a damn thing I can do here. I bet you. I just thought about this one. I can bring this image here, move it off to the side here a little bit, bring it over here, and maybe we will see things. Damn it. Going on in the background. Let me get that out of there. I just want to have some kind of video going as we're going on and talking about this, because the audience deserves to see what the heck we're talking about. Then by 12:30 a.m. on December 17th, all visual sightings were lost, and the incident officially ends. Now, what made these events at Wright-Patterson distinct. Now, remember, though, it's not in this particular report, but Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, was actually had their airborne operations shut down for a period of time, and all of their fighter gear or fighter jets had to be relocated down to, what do you call it?
Naval Air Station in Virginia Beach.
Thank you, sir.
Virginia.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So that's what was going on at that location for a period of time. So it's not like these were occurrences going on, but let's get into the report that we've got coming in here. So first of all, there was no FAA authorization. Air traffic control confirmed no known or permitted aircraft were operating in the airspace. Secondly, multiple independent sightings. Security patrols and civilians corroborated sightings from different locations and directions. Mike and I like that because sometimes when we're seeing stuff that's military only, sometimes you just have to call some things into question. Nothing against our military friends, but it's nice to see they got civilians partaking in this. Next.
Which is when we were covering the drones over New Jersey, there were a lot of civilian sightings that we were covering in real time, if you remember.
I think some of the best sightings we saw came off of YouTube, came off of Reddit.
Yep, they did.
Yeah.
Not from the military base.
No, remember the one time that we actually saw what people were calling out as a down drone, not the one that potentially came down on a freeway that we covered at one time, but that was a downed aircraft. But there was another sighting that someone was going down the freeway and they saw a down drone. I remember Corporal Abe talking about that with regards to the colors of the fire and what that could relate to aerospace architecture. Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. So drones evaded searchlights with high-speed accents. So the drone's moving by. They try to go ahead and get a searchlight on it. And by the time they could get a searchlight on it, it evaded the motion. So it was aware keenly of its surroundings. Flight paths were erratic, including hover and dash patterns, low-level passes, and a near landing. You know, Mike, considering this is the first time we saw this is the first.
Official.
Stop that one. This is the first official report we have on here. The drones were going in effect for almost a couple weeks, right?
Right.
So with respect to that, if we're dealing with technology that was fully autonomous, meaning there's no first-person viewer controlling this thing, there's no radio signals telling it where to go. Talking about erratic flight paths, hover and dash patterns, low-level passes and near landing. Near landing sounds like a mistake potentially. Flight paths that were erratic, that points to potentially AI that's learning over time.
Well, we said that when we were covering this, it had to have been.
Yeah.
No one is going to be stupid enough to be in line of sight of that military base operating these craft. No way.
Correct, sir. Andy W., go ahead. You have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, for me, it beggars belief. You know, if they were trialing these and if they were, man-made terrestrial-based craft that they were trialing with AI, it really beggars belief that they were doing this around where people, not just a military base, but where people live. Where built-up areas. That you in America have plenty of massive training areas where they could have deployed these things. If these things were as they purported the size of small SUVs or SUVs, I've got one. I wouldn't want my SUV landing on my head. It just if anything had gone wrong, it could have been catastrophic. I find it very hard to believe all of these. It's U.S. Craft or it's China. Nobody seems to have seen any of these things land or
right now. If I can jump into this one. It was my fault for bringing in information about the drones that crashed during New Jersey. This one is specifically about the incidents that were happening over Wright-Patterson Field. And that's a completely different thing. And I always complain, trust me, I do, with regards to everyone lumping all the drone scenarios together. But what you're bringing up, yeah, I agree with what you're saying about stuff coming down. But from Mike, didn't you hear about this, that potentially there was a drone that was brought down from this incursion behind the scenes? It's not verified, but...
No, it was never verified, but yeah, there was. It was actually Langley Air Force Base, not Wright-Patterson.
Okay.
Where they brought something down, and they never officially confirmed that.
Correct.
But yeah, one of them came down.
Yeah. So, thank you for that feedback, Andy. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did. Cheers, Thomas.
Awesome, thank you. So we're coming back to this aircraft characteristics, Mike, described as a gray F-16 size with engines on the sides and fixed wings. You can almost see that in the video we've been passing back here. You know, Mike, how big is an F-16?
16 is 49 and a half feet in length, 32 feet wingspan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a pretty goddamn big object that's hovering around.
Really quick, I want to go ahead and thank FreezerMan71. The big question that needs to be answered is this statement that Annie Burleson or Eric Burleson made about David Grush briefing President Trump that Nordic human hybrids are amongst us. How would any of us know? That was corrected. It actually wasn't stated that it was David Grush who had briefed him. Eric Burleson went and corrected that, and he said, what do you call it? He basically came out and said that Trump was briefed on Nordic hybrids, but he did not say David Grush briefed him on it.
Right.
Yeah. My God, Mike, I was thinking about this, laughing about this last night with Luke, and I hate to bring it up, but I'll bring it up anyway. Shoot me if I need to. You know, the whole thing about the Nordic aliens really screws with DEI, doesn't it?
With what?
With DEI. There's an entire race of in a plane.
A good one. I got it now.
Oh, it wouldn't stand in a Disney movie, I tell you.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. In one instance, 4 drones flew in a diamond formation, changing speeds and attitude simultaneously. So that calls out not necessarily one big object, right, that has the 4 pieces there. That calls out locally networked, potentially, objects that are moving in a synchronized manner, like synchronized swimmers in the Olympics.
Like AI.
Yeah.
Under computer control.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only logical explanation for this activity.
Right. Definitely not human-based control, but something that is coordinated between. But then again, you look at stuff that goes on, like with the Blue Angels, right? They move it, or the what is it? The Red Arrows from the United Kingdom. They all move in perfect synchronization every time. So it could be potentially
completely different. You have highly trained military personnel that live and breathe in these craft to be able to perform those synchronous maneuvers. Somebody deployed on the ground in the middle of the night isn't going to have that kind of training, and certainly not by remote control. It has to be AI controlled to perform like that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Potentially,
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Or they all get the red light that pops on at the same time and they all do what they do.
Yep.
Andy W., go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, can I just add to what Mike just said?
Yeah.
These pilots don't do these maneuvers in the dark. They are in daylight. If you've ever seen these things at an air show, I've been fortunate enough to see the Red Arrows loads of times. They have very strict ceiling height on the amount of cloud that they're, where the ceiling height for cloud. They don't do any of this in adverse weather conditions or darkness, especially darkness.
But
you'd never,
But recently, if I could add to that, Andy, I've seen videos of the Blue Angels doing a practicing before the actual event, and they're in a conference room and they're pretending like they're holding their stick and they're counting, they're hearing things. You see them go off to the one side, go off to the other, pull back, whatever it is. So it is a very synchronized manner, just like it would be a synchronized dance or a synchronized swimming kind of a thing going on. So there is a lot of practice, and while it's almost visual, these guys are in the zone. They just know what they have to do, when, and what to expect with what they're seeing, because you're not going to see these guys looking over their shoulder with these things going on.
But yeah, I think, general rule for the, don't quote me as gospel, but they actually practice on, on the ground, walking around what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They were in the conference room, sitting in conference chairs in front of a table, with their heads down, doing all their their heads down, doing all the movements.
Yeah, but it's got to be instinctive with these guys.
Yeah.
They're flying mere feet away from each other. I watched a civilian display team once, and they actually they took off with their aircraft tethered together. They were actually wingtip to wingtip.
Wow.
They probably had like a 10-meter rope or something between them, and then after a while, they could break the ropes in case But yeah, these guys, and especially flying these fighter planes, the Red Arrows are in Hawks, which are very small compared to a lot of these aircraft, relatively slow. They're only trainer planes, but still, it's split-second decision can cause disaster.
Oh, gosh, yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Andy. Now, getting to our audience really quick, Rodney Cox in the audience says, do you feel these are more likely secret military stuff, either ours or other countries, rather than aliens? Oh, I would say 100%, and we can actually do a survey on... I was going to wait till we get a little bit farther in this before we do the survey, but the thing is, the way that I see
through the survey.
Through the survey now, all right. Personally, I would say we're dealing with, especially just with this situation and what's going over our military bases, based on the behavior, based on the look and feel, I would say more likely than not, we're dealing with a foreign adversary screwing around with us in our bases, because, well, we've had Chinese balloons and potentially drones and other stuff over our country in the past, haven't we, Mike?
We have, and I would agree wholeheartedly with the...
Let's ask the audience.
As well. Yep, let's ask him.
All right, start a poll. Let's go ahead and bring this up. And what am I going to go ahead and ask the audience? Let's let the audience see me put this together. All right, so the drones over let's just say NHI I'm going to do this of the drones over Wright-Patterson. So far, audience, how you think about this? Is it the NHI? Is it from humans, meaning not human intelligence, meaning aliens? Meaning, is it humans not from the USA, or is it humans from the USA, like the own United States government, like a blue-on-blue exercise? They always say it doesn't happen, but they've been kind of calling that out more recently lately. So let's go ahead and start the poll. Hey, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please.
Okay, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Starting now.
Let me go ahead and get our survey going here, get the sound a little bit quieter so it's not so much. Let's go ahead and ask our audience, where are they at? Let's bring up the poll. All right, so would you look at this, Mike, so far? 51% of our audience is saying it's aliens.
Oh, okay.
22% is saying it's not from the USA, it's humans. 26% it's saying humans from the USA. So I almost should have just said humans or aliens, because otherwise it'd be 50-50 at this point. But right now, NHI is leading it. I am amazed, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, the evidence, the video, everything we covered when it was going on doesn't really support NHI, but that's okay.
Yeah.
If that's what they feel, that's fine with us.
Yeah, which is 34 seconds left to go. The NHI has it. Wow. And I'm going to have to go with the audience on this one. Potentially, it opens my eyes to a different way to see things. With 24 seconds left to go, we've got 80 votes in. Can we hit 90? Maybe in the next 20 seconds. Let's see where it goes. But, Mike, there's no way this number is going to change. Well, look at that. NHI is going higher and higher. Well, it really seems at 10 seconds left, I'm going to call this election. The NHI has it. But if we were to say NHI uses the humans, it's about a 50-50 split.
Right.
There we go. Let's go ahead and end this. Well, I am going to have to take a screenshot of this one for perpetuity. Here we go. Let's do that. And the poll, there we go. All right, everybody, coming in the final answers coming from our audience. How about that? The drones over Wright-Patterson, NHI, this is 49%, is tied up with 50%, give or take. It's about half aliens, half humans. Not bad, audience. I appreciate you going ahead and giving us that over. Now, Shrooby Doo says it's over an Air Force base. Yeah, I know. Which kind of has a bunch of implications about it, doesn't it? Come on, audience, tell me, why did you vote one way or the other in the chat? Would love to know. Humans is a sum of 50%. Yeah, it's about 50-50, isn't it, folks? Humans can shift into different light spectrums. It will, but humans can't. But did these craft actually shift into different light spectrums at will? I don't think these did, Mike. Maybe the stuff that was happening over the east, over New Jersey did, but this stuff wasn't, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
This wasn't NHI.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, way to go, NHI, 50-50, or the hybrid. Mr. Catfish 2100, humans, I think. Absolutely. NHI from Earth. There you go. Could be. Probably some of both. All right, let's go ahead and move on with the story and get into this. Where are we at now? Talking next, Mike, about the security response of this incident that happened. No, Google, I don't want to go ahead and insert an ad right now. I'd rather not do that.
Nope.
Let's go ahead and move that there. Let's move on then and get into this. So, the security response, what did they do when this event was going on? So, what was that, Mike?
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. Well, they mobilized multiple security patrols and agencies.
That had no effect.
Yeah, right. The Base Defense Operations Center was brought up, and more importantly, the AFMC, OSI, Riverside PD, Huber sites, and PD and FAA were all mobilized. That's the FAA, the local police department, the Huber Heights Police Department, the Riverside Police Department, the Office of Special Investigations that Rick knows about, and the AFMC. I'm not sure what AFMC is, but Air Force Military Command? Could be.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go with that final answer. So surveillance sweeps.
Back, he would know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
So surveillance sweeps, including airfield inspections and contact attempts with suspicious vehicle adjacent to the base perimeter. No drone operators or definitive source of aerial incursions were identified. Of course they wouldn't, Mike, because if you're dealing with advanced drones that are going over Wright-Patterson, you're going to want to have those things running on AI and not be able to be shut down or shot down.
Right, and like we were talking about, if it was controlled by a human operator through line of sight, they could have easily used jamming equipment and brought them all down.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the case. And they couldn't bring them down. So that proves what we're saying.
Yeah.
It has logical conclusion. Makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, Mike, of course, with FOIA, there are redactions.
Of course.
Now, John, of course, the requester of this FOIA was John Greenwald of the Black Vault. Response included partial redactions, taking out personal privacy, and exemption 7C/E, which is law enforcement info, and, of course, tactical procedures of what they'd be doing in case one of these drones actually happened, in which it did. Now, the Air Force acknowledged the incident, provided records, but withheld identities, tactics, and internal coordination strategies, basically saying that, no, we don't want anybody to know what the hell we're doing.
They didn't publicly put in the report or the released records that they had to evacuate their entire flight line to get those planes the hell out of there.
Yeah,
and
they did.
Divert them to another Air Force base,
yeah.
did they?
No, well, apparently, well, they're not. Well, I know they did that for Langley. Did they do that for Wright-Patterson?
That's a good question.
I may have been wrong. We know we did.
I thought it was just Langley.
Yeah, probably. We misspoke earlier. Thank you, Daryl, for correcting us. See, we make mistakes. We're like everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So, what are we talking about here? It raises questions about airspace security, UAP, and the military's detection capabilities. Means their ability to detect drones and deal with them. Sucks donkeys.
Yep. Non-existent.
Suggests either advanced drone capabilities operating outside of normal regulatory control or surveillance recon platforms evading traditional identification systems. I'd say both.
It obviously was both.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look at some talking point, go ahead.
If that was our technology, we wouldn't be looking to evade, especially over our own military bases. That doesn't make any sense, which is why we're leaning for at least a occurrence like this to a foreign adversary. The only thing that also makes sense.
Yeah. But, we have to bring up Ross Coulthart lately and is calling out saying that the Tic Tacs were from Lockheed Martin, and what they're dealing with was interrupting training exercises for an entire battle group to have a unannounced blue-on-blue interruption, which we know is just total fucking bullshit at this point. Hi, Ross. Love you.
Chad Underwood had spoken out. David Fravor spoke out about that and said it's completely ridiculous.
I think everyone, almost the entire community, has kind of turned on Ross. I know Psychoactivio podcast I heard earlier today is in the middle, not sure which way to go. How could you not know a way to go? Freezer Man, your hand is up, my friend.
All I was going to say is that Chad Underwood and David Fravor have more credibility than Ross Coulthart does.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I'd rather take their word for it than his.
Yeah. We've talked about it before that Ross likes to make the story about him. And that's where we're kind of at now. There's not a lot of things going on in Disclosure. You have the regular reality check that's going on, but now there's a producer or someone at News Nation interviewing Ross on a regular basis or getting questions to ask Ross, right? And that's making the story, Mike, really just truly about Ross and what's going on with him, which is unlike any other journalist that I've seen before.
Is it Stephen Greer also going down the same road that Ross is going down? He's doubling down on that.
Good one, Ed. Exactly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous right now.
Oh, God,
they're
yeah.
both trying to push this narrative, and it's not. I don't understand how you're trying to push that narrative over professional pilots in the military or active duty personnel or former. It's just ridiculous. But let them have their moment in the sun.
Yeah.
I guess.
Let them die by fall on their own sword, die by their own sword, whatever you want to call it, because that's what we're going to look at. We've got someone calling it out, and if anything, I hate to say it's a credibility killer for a lot of people who aren't going to take Ross and what he claims. But then again, we do have the whole egg video that came out that he'd been researching for 2 years, and he had that. And where did the video, Mike, come from of the egg being picked up by the helicopter?
That was from Jake Barber.
No, yeah,
and it was something from Dr. Stephen Greer.
Bingo. That's where it came from. That video was sourced by Stephen Greer, and it was never said within it. And that's part of the stuff. It just seems like it's, oh my God, we're turning into the YouTube version of the Inquirer.
Yeah, it's the cult of ufology, it seems like.
But shows like TMZ are actually doing a much better job covering stuff. And
yeah.
They just had a recent expose going with Jeremy Corbell, who's doing a phenomenal job representing Disclosure to the media.
Yeah.
All right.
I text you privately about that. I also agree with you that TMZ episode was perfect for the audience that they're trying to grab.
Right. It's hit eloquently. They hit all the major points, and we've been having different news briefs going on, and it's a consistent conversation. And if you look at what's going on in Disclosure, who's bringing forward the whistleblowers that are decent, who's going ahead and going up against Congress, who's the person who's making the media presence right now, and not falling on his own sword? It's Jeremy Corbell.
I was going to say Chris Mellon, but all right, yeah.
It's Jeremy Corbell. But we don't see Chris out on television interviews right now. We don't see him on TMZ or ABC News.
He was just on the last TMZ.
Oh, Mellon was?
Yeah, Mellon was.
He had a big segment on it. Yeah. After the show in the back, remind me about the TMZ video, and we'll talk privately about it.
Oh,
no problem. I'll definitely bring it up because I wanted to. I already talked to Tom for a little bit about it, but I definitely want to rehash it.
Yeah,
it was not on the show right now, but we'll talk after.
I'm tracking
in the back.
Oh, so anyone who wants to hear about that, be sure to join the back chat before the show's over when the door's still open.
There you go.
All right, so let's get on to this here. Is Wright-Patterson still a hot spot for UAP activity? This case suggests it may be, despite decades of silence. But, you know, Mike, we haven't heard about any other incursions at Wright-Patterson, have we?
No.
Not by the public, not by the military, nothing. So this is like a period of time that these incursions over Wright-Pat were going on, which does seem like, if you want to call it,
testing our weaknesses.
Someone poking the bear.
Yep.
Seeing how we respond to it.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah. So, who controls the skies? If not the FAA, with real-time military base breach, no aircraft authorization should concern every taxpayer. But here is the thing, with regards to the non-human intelligence and UFOs, Mike.
Yeah.
We have never controlled the skies. Humanity has never controlled the skies, not for a split second ever in our evolution. It has been dominated and owned by the non-human intelligence. Let's just be clear on that part.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Drones or something else? Four synchronized craft in a diamond formation that outrun spotlights aren't your typical hobby drones. No, we're not talking about hobby drones. Hobby drones aren't the size, they're not 45 feet long, are they, Mike?
No, they certainly are not.
No.
So that's not ours.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell they were.
Yeah. So, interesting times for what was going on with the drones. Now, we do have some videos. Let me go ahead and bring these up now. I've had the most spectacular one here running in the background. Let me go ahead and bring up the first one. We'll play this one. Let's go ahead and get it here. Let's get it around here. Let me pause that one. Get the volume up, and it looks like they're outside of a building looking up, and let's go ahead and see what happens here.
Apologies for the bad radio. Just bad out here.
They're not seeing anything in this one. We've got some lights going on here, Mike, but this right here, that's a reflection from the lights hitting the camera sensor. So first one's a nothing burger. Let's go from there. Let's go to number 2. Or maybe that green thing is something. Let's go ahead and play it. There we go. There's the object. Where they're flashing red and white lights, as was described. So there we go again. Let's play it again. We got the red and white lights flashing. Let's go on to our next video. Video number 3. Bring that one up. Shut this down. And the reason why you're seeing all this noise here and why it's so dark and stuff and brightened up, it's because it was recorded on an old iPhone that has a crappy-ass nighttime sensor. So let's go ahead and see what they're seeing here. It's a 5-second clip.
I can't really. I can't tell. Yeah, I can't really tell.
So they're just giving us 5 seconds of the overall clip.
I can't really. I can't tell. Yeah, I can't really tell.
We can't tell what they're trying to talk about because it's been clipped down so much. So, Mike, they're giving us clips, but I think they're giving us clips of clips, and they're keeping the best part away from us.
Oh, they absolutely are, Thomas. We know that. We know, what was it, the rubber duck video?
Yeah.
That the Customs and Border Patrol had officially released.
Right.
But there was a leaked version that we had that was 10 times clearer and better quality than the one the government had released. This is typical for what they do all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So we're used to that.
Yeah, go ahead. We got this one up here, and we're going to loop this one time and time again. This one is basically looks like you've got a craft with dual lights flying around here. Andy, your hand is up, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just really disappointing how we fall short on nighttime footage, isn't it? You know, we've spoken on the show countless times how bad mobile phone cameras really are, especially at night. You know, they're really designed for selfies, unfortunately.
No, but the sensors they have in modern Samsung and Apple devices actually have a pretty good sensor and AI for giving really good imagery at night. So we can
run a 5-year-old phone, so yeah.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm on an iPhone 12 right now, and yeah, it's not the best, but we're looking at something potentially older because, you know, if you look at all the different Snoopy teams that were out there, they were recording what was going on for when they were having the drone incursion, or they're having the drone or UAP incursions over the USS Russell in the Channel Islands in off of LA. They were all on iPhones then too, so it seems that a lot of people have a standard iPhone from the security folks potentially issued to them to go ahead and record stuff if they potentially see it.
I'm thinking I saw one similar to that on 235 just now.
So again,
I'm thinking I saw one similar to that on 235 just now.
So he's talking about, yeah, we've seen one similar to this at another time, but again, they've taken the clips mic down to frickin' 6 seconds, so they're not letting a lot of information out about what's going on in usual DoD fashion. They're trying to keep as much stuff secret as they can. Are you surprised?
No, not at all. It's as little information as humanly possible.
Yeah.
For them to release, obviously.
This is just another one going across really high up. These guys aren't recording any of the stuff that's coming down close. That's a fact. So we got that one, and that takes us to our next video we've got here before the gangbuster one we had, which you can walk everybody through. Let's get through this one.
Over to the west ramp, and then one went from...
So this one actually reminds me of some of the drones that we saw coming out of New Jersey, where you've got a couple lights on the side and then a third light that's blinking.
Right.
Over to the west ramp, and then one went from...
That one actually has 4 lights. It has 2 on the tips of the wings, 1 potentially on the back, and 1 in the front. And then the last video we have up here, this one that was flashing like crazy and stuff going on. Let me bring my trackpad up here so I can deal with this a little bit better. This one's really interesting because what we're dealing with here is we've got the overall object. Let's zoom it out to 100% out so everyone can kind of see what we're taking a look at here. You've got the base grounds here. This is coming towards the base. You've got the object out in the distance. And we're going to start zooming in. Now you're going to see the background flashing between blue and red. Mike, what do you think it'd be flashing blue and red like that?
Well, normally I would think a police car would be flashing red and blue.
Bingo. Base security.
Right.
So let's move forward. We're going to take it one step at a time as we get through this. And we're getting a kind of an object that's kind of showing up and making itself where you can potentially see the back of the craft. This would be the tail going to the front of the craft that's lit up. And then you've got 2 wings. Now remember, these objects were set about the size of a F-22 mic, I think, about 45 feet long, gray in color. That one we're getting stretched out because of the exposure that's being used on the device. If you're moving a device, when something's going on, it'll stretch out the image of what you're potentially seeing.
Yep.
Flashing going on. We got the extension, the lights blurring on. Here's another good another frame of it. But you know, we've got a really good frame that's been taken care of based on AI that I'll bring up in a second. Let me just play this back. There we go.
Take him in the bedroom.
Uh-oh. There we go. There's the object a little bit more. Where's it at? Again, that same profile that we've been looking at. Light in the front, light in the back. Let me zoom out of this a little bit, leave that up and running, and let me go ahead. Who has their hand up? Andy, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, what's really puzzling me, you know, I watch planes. We have so many planes fly over here. I'm on the flight path of international. I'm on the flight path of the local airport here. Why this object is so well illuminated? I've never ever at night seen a plane lit up that you can see the whole aircraft. You know, you'll see little bits of it with the lights on the wings, and,
right.
With the strobe, and the lights there don't look like any lights I've ever seen that were internationally recognized by law that aircraft should be flying. That's why I still struggle to, you know, where you put the thing out earlier on for, you know, whether people thought it was human or whatever have you. You know, this is, it doesn't quantify for me. Why is this thing so well lit up? Especially if it's on a potential spying mission.
Right. Why would it be Why would it be flashing all of its light? We don't know. Maybe they want to be known. Just saying, hey, we're screwing around with you, and there's nothing you can do to get us, you know?
Yeah, and I've never actually seen an aircraft with as many lights as that. That seems to be exceedingly well illuminated, whether it's manned or unmanned or whatever. That's why I plumbed for NHI. I just, you know, can't quantify it being human. Why would they have it so well lit unless they had people on the ground watching it and they needed it? You know, they needed to see what this thing was doing visually.
Yeah. Maybe there were observers seeing what was going on. We don't really know, but you know what we do have here is some good analysis coming in from ProPixel Video Analysis and Research. Have you seen this guy over on X, Andy? He does some great work going ahead and trying to bring out the truth. If you want to call him, he would be the anti-McWest. Right. So ProPixel says, per the Black Vault, the Air Force confirms drone incursions as released by FOIA at Wright-Patterson. I'm including the most unusual capture by security. Hard to tell what type of drone this is. It has an anti-collision light on the belly, as seen down here in picture 2. It has a vertical stabilizer in the back. So this must be a SOTL or VTOL long-range drone or long-range style drone. VOTL are the ones that can go ahead and have the wings that have the blades on them that are going forward for forward movement, and they also have the ability to go ahead and put those wings in an upward position to help them hover, and they actually have 2 sets of that in the front and the back.
Yeah, VTOL is vertical takeoff and landing. STOL is short takeoff and landing. So, you know, a Harrier, you know, you guys, your Marines still fly the Harriers. You know, they can vertically take off.
Yeah, so can the F-35s.
When they take off, they can't do it vertically. Certainly, the Harriers couldn't with a payload on.
Right.
They could only land vertically when they were almost, you know, empty of fuel and things. They would short take off. They'd use the thrusters to take off in a very quick amount of time. But they couldn't do it with a full payload. What these things are, you know, what they weigh, who knows? Right.
And potentially you can see it's got a long rear of the fuselage, thin, going up to where that rear structure is on the plane, where the tail is.
But you know, personally, again, I've never ever seen a plane with an illuminated, you know, tail fin on
True.
it. You know,
well, though it seems that the lights are so bright on this object, it's illuminating the entire object, whatever it is.
Could be. Yeah, different.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I know there's a lot of people that think potentially this could be the non-human intelligence going in and disguising themselves as a human craft to move around. But I just have to bring the question, when have the non-human intelligence needed to go ahead and pretend that there's something else than they actually are? Daryl Zernick, your hand is up, my friend.
Yeah, Andy, did your buddy Daryl, great name by the way, your buddy Daryl over there, did he ever see anything like this?
I don't believe he did. Whatever he was seeing was off in the distance. you know, the thing that I found strange when I was listening to him on one broadcast, he was there and he was near that he had some dogs outside the, you know, off the air base there, and all the dogs and all the animals were going absolutely crazy, which, you know, to me was a bit strange. Why they would be used to all the fighter planes taking off and landing, but as far as I'm aware, I don't know that he did. I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Yeah. Now, when I think about non-human intelligence, I think about the Tic Tac. I think about the craft that we have that was videoed over Malta, where the craft are going 14,000 miles per hour, coming in and intercepting military craft and aerobatics that they're doing from the Red Arrows that are going 450 miles an hour, and they come and go even before the humans can even realize that they were even there. For me, that's what the non-human intelligence does. So if they would potentially be coming out to show themselves, more of anything, the only reason that they'd be going and doing this would potentially be a show of force. Someone's doing it as a show of force, saying, haha, you son of a bitches, you can't stop us and there's nothing you can do. You can't figure out who we are. You can't figure out what we're doing, and we're going to drive you nuts. A bully. But that's where we are sometimes. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's pretty direct. The description of these craft, if you look to search to see what is now currently known in drone technology, there is nothing that matches these images that we're looking at. A lot of them that are drones are standard helicopters that are converted to be autonomous and tilt wing. Nothing with this configuration that we're looking at. So I can assure you it's nothing that's publicly known.
Well, Mike, the only thing that would be in the configuration that could do some of the stuff is like some of the drones we've covered before from Pterodynamics that have stuff that, it's an EVTOL. It's the one that has 4 blades on it, and they can go ahead and alternate and rotate. They can have the wings tucked in tight in the front, or they can be extended out. It's a very high, and that's a craft, Mike, that the ones that we know about are the ones that have already been deployed and being sold. Now, that company has additional drones, next generation and second generation, third generation out, that they've been also delivering for the Navy and testing over the last year that we have seen nothing of, that are probably a lot more advanced.
Oh, it has to be a lot more advanced. And I was thinking, when Andy was mentioning about why is it lit up like that, if we had the drones that you're talking about with the quad rotors for propulsion, they're not going to have lights like we were seeing on this image right now that we're looking at. Right. So Andy is right when he said it had anti-collision strobes like most aircraft do. It did. We saw that on the bottom. But what the hell are all around the craft those lights? And they weren't just standard lights. They had a different type of luminosity to them, from what I can see. It sounded, or it looks to me like it could possibly be, it's the form of propulsion that's advanced. And if it is some type of a field, meaning an energy field or magnetic electrogravitic type of propulsion, it might have those illumination points on the craft when it's active. So I don't think that what we're seeing are lights to light it up. I think what we might be seeing is an after effect of the technology that it's using.
Potentially, yes, but right now, any form of electrogravitic propulsion is purely theoretical. There has not been one demonstration of that technology that the public has been able to take into effect. So while people may be claiming, oh, we've got this stuff, it sounds like Stephen Greer stuff to me, until we actually get the
I would love to see proof before you can establish that technology like that actually exists. And we haven't seen it. No one's come forward. But that's the problem. With a lack of information, The only thing we can do is speculate.
No, the only thing we can do,
know.
Mike, is trust me, bro.
No.
I can't believe I'm saying that these days, but that's where it's at right now with a lot of the different claims that are out there. If people have proof about this technology, frickin' bring it out, or, well, I won't say.
Bring it out or shut up.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
No,
We've
shut the
said it
fuck
before.
up. It's Friday. We can
Right.
say that. Now, we do have
that's
3
true.
people in the back. This is a hot topic. 4 people. Let's go to Corporal Abe, and then Andy, and then Michael and Daryl. Take over the floor, guys. You got it.
Yeah, a little off topic, but a little not. Didn't Canada just recently say that they were going to have some type of parliamentary hearings about UFOs, and then wasn't it delayed? So this is more of a question towards my Canadian friends.
United Kingdom. It's United Kingdom.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Canada, wasn't it?
No, it was United Kingdom.
Was it? Okay.
Oh,
Well,
God, I've got that
because,
one here. Hold
I
on.
missed some type of news, but yeah. So what
There we
happened
go.
with that? Are they going to do it?
Yeah.
Are they going to do it?
No.
They proposed it, but we haven't confirmed anything. Nothing has moved
Yeah.
forward.
Is that going to coincide with Anna Paulina Luna's supposed hearing?
Alleged hearing.
Oh, we've got Avi Lube to hold you off in the meantime, friends. That's right. We got a sponsorship from Avi Lube. There we go. Your best way to get to disclosure. No, we don't. Having fun with it. Thank you. All right, next person with their hands up. Andy W. Take it, my friend.
Go ahead, Andy. Your mute button is on, mate.
There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to fall back on what Mike was saying, actually, about this potential anti-gravitic technology. If they have perfected it as a form of propulsion, then if it's given off some sort of, light aura or whatever, that's a bit of a failure in my book. Yeah, it'd be good if they created this technology, but if it has to illuminate to give propulsion, then yes, I'm just really quite I don't want to say confused about these objects.
If you're doing a stealth incursion on a military base, wouldn't you keep the lights off to make sure people don't realize that you're actually there, unless you want them to know that you're there? And it's not just an incursion of the technology, it's a psychological operation to get back to the United States saying, we own your ass.
There's also one more way to take a look at this, Andy. Let's say that they have this advanced technology and they know it. Even if it's illuminated and it can be seen, if they know that it has the capability of completely evading and operating with impunity over restricted airspaces, and we can't bring it down, we can't track it, we can't do anything about it, then I don't really think they would care too much if it's lit up like a Christmas tree or not.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Probably, and then that, if that's the case, if we're talking about it being a potential adversarial nation, America, my gosh, you guys are screwed,
Oh,
For-
yeah,
for
we've got a
all the
video about that
technology.
coming up next.
Yeah, for all the technology.
And go ahead, Thomas. What you remember, we've talked about this before. What did Marco Rubio say? That if these objects are
No, he had
unknown-
said, based on the objects, I sure as hell hope they're aliens, because if it's not, we are in big trouble, equivalent, right? We're screwed.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So Andy is right.
So there's a greater threat. There's not aliens, and then there's more of a reason to investigate this fully and be transparent with the global public.
Yeah, but we got official statement from the President of the United States that informed everybody is no cause for alarm, nothing to see here, folks. Move right along.
Yeah, there's also
So we
no
got
Epstein
assured.
files. There's also no Epstein files.
Apples and oranges, my friend.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's the same result.
Exactly. Now,
That's
next
the
person
problem.
with their hand up, Michael Sokoloff, and then Daryl and Freezer Man. Michael, what say you?
Yeah, I got 2 items to talk about.
Go for it.
First off, on that last video, that is the only one that doesn't look like normal UFO. UFOs have their blinking lights, but they almost look like they're LED.
I'm sorry, all the UFOs that I've seen don't have any blinking lights, and they're all constant, and it's that orange color, and they move silently above the tree line here around here in Washington State.
And maybe I see only certain types. Who knows?
Yeah. And the one I saw as a kid when I was like just turned 5 in the Midwest, it was big, it was a saucer, and it had lights that moved around with a central light at the bottom.
Anyhow, as I was saying, that last video has me kind of baffled because it just doesn't fit the norm that I know. As far as Canada is concerned, there was a report that was supposed to come out on UFOs a week or two ago, but it didn't come out because they weren't ready to publish it yet. And there has been a secret program studying UFOs. So the report is coming out, just don't know when.
Or if. Time will tell, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. But at least the person in charge is a lot prettier than Susan Goff.
Goff, like a cough. God. She's not Goff, and she's not a go either.
No.
All right, next person, Daryl Zernick. What say you, my friend?
Yeah, I just everybody's talking about the technology and what the technology does, and we don't understand the technology, all about the technology. Which reminded me of an interview I watched with Rob O'Neill, who is the guy that's accredited with killing Osama bin Laden. And this is an interview that Tucker did nine days ago. And he said that the helicopters that they got on, they had never been in before. The pilots had trained but never been on the plane before. And they were taking off to go kill Osama bin Laden. He said not even the president knew about these helicopters. So, I don't know. Sometimes you can keep a secret, I think.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Oh, I'd also say this. I'm sorry. You're right. Sometimes I feel like a nut right now. But anyway, he also said that he didn't... he said he didn't think that this technology was from Earth. He said when he got in the helicopter was bigger than what they had trained on, like the bigger inside, and hardly made any noise. So it might be a good interview for people if they're interested to watch. Rob O'Neill, Tucker Carlson 9 days ago.
Well, check it out. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up for us in the audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and Freezer Man, what say you?
What I don't understand is if these drones, okay, and as we said, blue on blue earlier, what purpose does it serve to demoralize your armed forces by throwing stuff at them that you have in secret? And Corporal Abe, I'm interested to hear what you would think.
It doesn't serve a purpose to me, and it would actually piss me and my friends off. I don't want to speak for the entire Navy, but I'm going to tell you, like, when I was in the Navy and the Army, we were dealing with so much other shit that if you're going to do this to us, not only are you demoralizing us, but you're risking our lives. We're in an active either training area, and even when we're in training, especially on an aircraft carrier, we train how we fight. It's just as dangerous on an aircraft carrier as it is in training, as it is in deployment. And, like, we're not getting the correct information. And this is more towards what Commander David Fravor said. We just don't do that. We have test ranges for that specifically. And so if you're going to violate the rules and then use this blue on blue force on us, it's a major issue.
Yeah. Oh, I'd have to agree with you 100%. A blue on blue issue, even a red on blue issue is a big thing, especially when it comes to drone technology in the United States or in the world for that matter. Speaking of which,
what's happening in Ukraine with the drones,
oh yeah.
If it's not UFO, if it's not aliens, okay, great. It's not aliens. That's great. But what is it? Where is it coming from? What's the purpose? And we need to establish that, and we need to let everybody know fast.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. Let me go ahead and get to, is it this one? No. I need to get to, I actually did some good questions here and here. I want to bring this one up here. So when we talk about this, it's not in this one. Hold on. No, hold on. I got some data that I put together for the show here. Let me just go ahead and do it again. No, not that. Hold on. Let me just do a new one. Okay, when it comes to drone technology and everything that's out there, United States at this point, let's just be honest about this, Abe. United States is screwed. We don't have factories that are set up for making drones. We don't have mass production facilities to go ahead and create this stuff. And if you look at the data that's out there, if I break it down in context and bring it up here, go to here, go down one more. Let's bring it up. Let's see if I can get back to this desktop again. All right. So China currently has the capacity to produce around 500,000 first-person view drones per month. And this figure can easily scale up to $700,000 units per month in wartime conditions. These refer to specifically low-cost, mass-produced swarm or battle drones, not the high-end military UAVs. They're primarily used for tactics such as saturation attacks and intelligence gathering. More importantly, we talked about that, up to $700,000 a month. However, higher-end military UAVs, platforms like the Wing Long 2 are manufactured at far lower numbers, estimated dozens per month due to complexity. China also dominates the civilian market and commercial sector, led by companies like DJI, with nearly 2 million registered drones as of the end of 2023. However, civilian production rates greatly differ than military-focused drones. However, when it comes to this technology, China has the lead on it. If we can, Steve, your hand is up.
Yeah, just to back up a little bit, back to the Blackhawks and stuff that went in for Bin Laden there. That's from Task Force 160. They're nothing new. The silent part's just adjustment we did on the blades, different pitch. It makes the aircraft a little quieter, and on the engines we put suppressors on it, eats up more fuel, but they're nothing special. I worked on them.
Steve, did you watch the Rob O'Neill interview? He didn't say they were Blackhawks.
No, I know they were. I was involved in that. I know for the pre-flight and the after-flight on that thing. And one didn't return.
Right.
Because they burned it in place. Yeah. That's why I wanted to get in there, because, I have firsthand knowledge on those.
I'd be interested for your review of the Rob O'Neill interview.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it.
Yeah. So China has some amazing technologies out there. This is an example of a DJI drone of what we've got out there. Laura Campbell, your hand is up. You're muted, my dear lady. We can't hear you. Your mic isn't set up. Now you muted yourself. Okay, we'll talk to you in a second once you can figure it out. Just keep on talking until you figure it out, and eventually, once you cut in, we'll give you the mic. Now, this is a drone coming to us from, if you want to call it China, coming from DJI. These are drones that are coming off the, if you want to call it, production lines. These are an industrial drone. It can go for like tens of 20, 30 kilometers at a high speed, and it only takes like 20 minutes to recharge. It's a phenomenal drone technology, and the matter is, we don't have the design, manufacturing, or delivery capabilities to go ahead and bring any kind of stuff like this to market. Now, with that particular thought in mind, let me bring up, we've got Pete Hegseth, our current Secretary of Defense, or as now Trump wants to call him, the Secretary of War. Is that because they can't get him approved? Maybe. Just released a video talking about our drone capabilities, and it looks like a joke. You've got 3 people here with little control pads that control the drones, one person maybe with an FPV with the controls on it, and they've got a couple little drones going on, and this is supposedly talking about American drone dominance. At least that's where we want to get, but we have a long way to get there, my friends, because look at the stuff that's been going on in Ukraine. Russia's been completely not clippered. They've been taken by surprise by the technology and the ingenuity of all these war drones that are going on, and they can't compete against it. Imagine this stuff, what happens if they start getting this stuff from China. Let's go ahead and play this clip here coming from Pete Hegseth. Before we get there, Corporal Abe, your hand is up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick in reference to the drones that we were talking about. wasn't there recently just a threat on the president from Iran using drones? And more to my point, the drones that Tom was just talking about, the drone swarms that was specifically mentioned in their ridiculous threat about his belly button.
I didn't hear anything about that. Interesting, though.
Yep. Yeah, Iran just made that threat recently.
Okay,
but,
let's go ahead.
That's more to my point that it's a big issue, and why aren't we going to do something about this?
I got you, my friend. Hopefully we can. Let's go ahead and watch this clip coming in from Pete Hedgeseth over on X. Yeah, and we'll react to this one because it does have stuff to do with drones. And yeah, we're in a tight situation right now, friends.
We know why we were put here. We were brought here to rebuild the military, match capabilities to the threats of today. So while our adversaries have produced millions of cheap drones, before us, we were mired in bureaucratic red tape. Not anymore. In June, President Trump issued an executive order unleashing American drone dominance to bolster our drone industry and arm our warfighters, because that's what we're all about. So today, I'm rescinding restrictive policies that stifle production, and this will unleash American manufacturing and the ingenuity of our warfighters by doing 3 key things. First, we're going to bolster the U.S. drone manufacturing base by producing thousands of American-made products, prioritizing Buy American. We'll arm combat units with a variety of low-cost American-crafted drones, leveraging our world-leading engineers and AI experts. And third, we're going to train as we expect to fight. Senior officers, well, I'll grab this because it's the memo. Senior officers must overcome bureaucratic risk aversion in budgeting, weaponeering, and training. So here's the memo we're signing today, delivered via drones.
Oh my
Here on the front
God.
lawn of the Pentagon.
Oh my God.
With some of our great warfighters flying them. This is the future.
Don't leave, folks. This will be over soon.
We're in the fight to win it. I'm never going to back down.
Oh my God, they've got licensed music on here playing in the background. Hopefully you don't get hit for that shit. But my God, Mike,
what a shit show.
Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. I know some people left because we're showing a video of Pete Hedgeseth, but you got to watch this. Doesn't matter if you're on the left and right, because what a bullshit presentation. It's almost as bad as the parades we saw. Remember when they had the military parades in DC, Mike?
Yep.
And they had the people operating drones, but they were walking around with their drones up in the air and carrying them.
Yep.
As a technologist, I look at some of this stuff and say, are you that fucking stupid? You know, there should have been hundreds of drones throwing up in the background, giving a waving American flag as he's going out there, having the big ones coming in, make it like the, a freaking Hollywood moment. But no, it looked like it was not even a YouTube production.
We've seen that drone display that you're describing, but not here in the U.S.
No, in China.
China does that all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he wants to boost it here, not get it made in China, because they're concerned if it's made in China, if we use it for military, is it can actually work when we need to? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
What a joke. Go ahead, Laura. Your hand is up.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah,
Hey, it works. You fixed it.
Yeah. Different machine. I was going to say, anytime when we're fighting enemies, we tend to undermine things rather than just go dead on and fight them. So I was noticing the UK came out with a directed energy weapon. They did a demonstration where they took down a swarm of drones. And I believe they said they had that on the royal family's helicopter or plane. So really, when we talk about all these drones that China's cranking out, that's wonderful and everything, but I'm sure we have a lot of weapons that can just aim and shoot and boom, they're down. Not that that's great, but
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Why isn't my X working on Brave?
Not over New Jersey when the drones were swarming us. Not over Langley. Not over the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So we've had plenty of drone incursions. We haven't been able to swat any of them down yet.
Or didn't for reasons. We always assume that the military is going to shoot down anyone not allowed in our airspace. But is that always true? I looked up the old Langley, where what I looked at, this was the target from, quite a while back. And we did a remote view on it. And although I can't prove it, what we found was they were large drones, high-tech, high-distance tactical weapons. They were trying to intercept transmissions from the military base, showed satellites sending information back and forth between Earth and the base. They were hoping to catch the signals with their drones. That is not how the base communicates with each other, so it's not a problem. And then why didn't we shoot them down? There could have been an explosion. It could have affected the ground. But we saw that one was captured, one or more was captured, and they snagged it somehow with some type of a grappling hook-like device, but it's also pulled by some type of a military jet, not necessarily a Harrier, but something that could hover. And then after that, we saw in the news the stories of possibly one being captured. So I was pretty delighted that we saw that.
Yeah. Interesting insights. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to agree with what Laura was saying. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I was curious, Steve Hins, who came on, who actually worked on the Osama bin Laden raid that took place when they assassinated him.
Yeah.
Now that we've been showing all of these drones, what's his take as someone familiar with military aircraft? What does he think about that?
I'm not sure, but based on our audience right now, we need to kind of jump gears.
Okay.
All right. Coming up, something else we're at, Mike. Great conversations all around. In case you missed the news, we're just talking about directed energy weapons, Mike, right?
Right, yeah.
Direct energy weapons confirmed in space. Russia and China are confirmed to have killer satellites, directed energy weapons, by the Secretary of the Department of Defense. And this is going back, Mike, in September 16th, 2020. I think we missed the memo on this one.
No. I've been aware that Russia and China both have been trying to take space dominance away from the U.S.
Yeah.
And looking to create anti-satellite satellites.
Yeah.
That's been going on for many years. But as far as have they perfected it and have they been able to completely deploy it yet, that remains to be seen.
Well,
that's my understanding.
Let's listen to what the government told us years back that I never freaking paid attention to. But let's just go ahead and check this out now, since it was brought up and it was in my feed today for that apparent reason.
However, our near-peer rivals, China and Russia, seek to erode our long-standing dominance in air power through long-range fires, anti-access aerial denial systems, and other asymmetric capabilities designed to counter our strengths. Meanwhile, in space, Moscow and Beijing have turned a once peaceful arena into a warfighting domain. They have weaponized space through killer satellites, directed energy weapons, and more in an effort to exploit our systems and chip away at our military advantage. Furthermore, our competitors...
Did you hear that, Mike?
I did. And I know that you and I did a show talking about this a while ago. And we said that if Russia or China, specifically China, but Russia has also been on the forefront of putting up into low Earth orbit satellites that would take our satellites down.
Right.
And what we talked about when we were discussing this previously is that we are so technologically dependent on communications, on GPS, that if they start to knock our shit out of low Earth orbit, it will put us almost literally back into the Stone Age overnight. The next problem that we talked about is that whatever they knock out of orbit, we can't put back up that quickly. It would really take a lot of time.
Well, with SpaceX, we could actually react really quickly and put stuff up there if we need to. But the thing is, you're going to need stuff to put up there. And who knows what are all the true capabilities of the Starlink satellites that haven't been disclosed yet, let's just say.
Actually, that's a very good point. Yeah. That was going to be one of the stories
it's not
we were
just
planning
up there
on
as a satellite grade. It's probably up there for defense, I'd have to guess.
Oh, it's not just a guess. No, I think you're 100% right on
More
that.
than anything, if you could use that technology for passive radar to pick up UFOs that are passing along and moving along at high speeds, that would be the key.
Right. Right.
So let's get back to this here. Yeah, great conversation, my friend. It's something that just, again, let me just get a little bit back here. I think it's about here. Let's continue on, listen to it to the rest.
More in an effort to exploit our systems and chip away at our military advantage. Furthermore, our competitors and adversaries exploit cyberspace to undermine our security without confronting our conventional strengths.
Just further back.
They do this all in an increasingly gray zone of engagement that keeps us in a perpetual state of competition. The National Defense Strategy guides us as we adapt the force to this challenging, complex security environment by, first, divesting from legacy systems. Second,
Talk about a highly edited video.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Reinvesting in our highest priorities. And third, making the tough choices required to break from the status quo and continue outpacing the competition.
No, I think what we're listening to is about right here then.
And other asymmetric capabilities designed to counter our strengths. Meanwhile, in space, Moscow and Beijing have turned a once peaceful arena into a warfighting domain. They have weaponized space through killer satellites, directed energy weapons.
There we go. So it's at 25 seconds into this clip, because I want to clip this out. I won't forget that. Let me just go ahead and do a screenshot of that so I know what I need to get. There we go. Wow, interesting. So, there's a lot of things that are going on in our government and around us. It all kind of ties together. And gosh, everyone talks about these, DEWs in space, and the proof's out there. Yep. Let me get back to here and let me check up what I else have got on my bookmarks. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, Mike. Let's see. We've covered that. Don't want to cover
Green Street.
That. Well, if you want to get, we can get to Green Street. If you want to cover on that one, I've got stuff here about the Havana stuff coming together, but we can cover that on another date. UFO sighting, that one. I have Green Street stuff. Oh, yeah, we can cover Professor Simon tomorrow and his take on the Tic Tacs. That'll be fun.
Oh, it will be.
Okay, so you're talking about Stephen Greenstreet's latest video he's put out there, an expose on disclosure. What is your take on that, Mike? What's he trying to get to, and what's your take?
Well, he's doxing the names of people, which is not something a journalist or a mainstream media newspaper is supposed to be doing.
No.
But he seems to have taken the leap in doing this. We knew he was slimy, but now he seems to be going above and beyond. Now, one of the names, well, you know what? We'll cover it and we'll start talking about that.
Oh, it's an actual video. So yeah, here we go. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, he's going to expose names of individuals involved with the with disclosure from the government.
Yeah,
that we've covered before, and he's putting their names out there. One of them is Sarah Gam.
Okay. Oh yeah, Sarah Gam. Yeah, she was the psychic, could talk to dead people and maybe their pets and stuff.
For $150 a pop, last I remember.
If she has the talent, I understand. Some people have the ability to pick up on the vibrations of and spirituality of people that aren't alive anymore. So, I got to give her props for having the balls to be able to say, hey, this is what I can do. And I'm proud of it, and actually trying to use it to help people. Granted, everyone deserves money for whatever they do. And, as long as she can do stuff and people are happy, no one's going to be exact every time, but it's, a lot of people have believed in stuff like this for a while.
I understand that. And I agree, but I will counter that point by simply saying, to me, it's more like apples and oranges. If she's going to be pro-disclosure and using her experience working for the government, that should be separate from her personal activities or talents or whatever she does. If you mix the two, it tends to damage credibility to one form or another.
Yeah.
So that's my personal opinion on it.
I know what I can do.
Nothing against her. I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't believe she should have brought both of those points out at the same time.
Right.
Now, are we going to cover the actual piece, the video from Green Street?
Give me a second here. I want to see if I can do this without screwing with you. Give me a second. I need to do something else to it. Go to here, go to filters. There we go. And I want to add a filter, which is a... No, it's not freaking working. God damn it. Give me a second here. It should be here. If I could go ahead and just add something. Well, let me go ahead and do this. Transitions. It should be here, but it's not. Defaults.
Just put the video up. It's fine.
Oh, here we go. No, I got it, Mike. I can put the video up, but I just need to do one thing to it. I need to look at the VHS shader. Well, that's way too much. That's fine. If it screws up you and everything, the whole bit no one's going to see right now anyway. Wave size. That's too much. It's too much. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
No, I got Mike. I just have to. There we go. It's an old television set, folks. Sorry, I've hit the side a couple times. We kind of get it there. Let's go ahead and play the video and see. I guess we're going to play it.
Believe it or not, a rogue group of paranormal true believers inside...
All right, so this is already getting thick, Mike. They're calling it a rogue group of paranormal believers?
Yes. He's really on a tear against anybody that's trying to come forward for disclosure, which is typical for him. You know, he's a debunker now, but he's really bringing all the information out, and not in a good way, not in a good light.
Yeah.
It's a credibility killer for his chosen profession of journalism. And I'm surprised no one bothered to tell him that.
Right.
It makes him look really bad.
Well, sounds like it.
Nothing new with Stephen Greenstreet.
No, not at all. Okay, now I've got that. That's there. It's doing its video thing. Now I just need to take the television set, make it a little bit smaller, and then I think I'll feel safe. I've never gone up against the New York Post before, folks, so the old television set has got a lot of talent, and it's an old Panasonic. I know it's an old Zenith. All right, so let's get that there.
News and fair use. We're covering the
I know.
news.
Here we go.
The U.S. government claim they've had close encounters with UFOs, ghosts, psychic powers.
Okay, yes, and yes, I can do that, and I have. So what's your point, Stephen?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, experiences with UFOs, ghosts, and psychic abilities. Yeah. When people have opened up their abilities, it's kind of goes along with it. Let's continue.
Bigfoot.
No. Oh, hell no. Mike, Bigfoot?
No.
For decades, they've been trying.
No, we don't do.
Maybe he's talking about Ross Coulthard, who has been on the trail of Bigfoot lately.
Yeah, we don't do Bigfoot here. Sorry.
Nope.
Trying to find a supernatural truth. Some say they're crusaders that will change the world.
Yeah, I really hope they will. I certainly hope they will. Come on, let's move something forward. We're tired of getting fucking stuck. Let's move on.
Others say they could simply be crazy.
Either they're telling the truth, or we have people in really important positions of government who are crazy.
Well, we know that's true.
Yep, it is true.
No, I won't go there, but yeah, we really do.
We do.
I have
Okay, okay. So he does have a new do.
He does.
He does have a new do, and I got to give it to him. He pulls it for his age. We get the effects everywhere now, don't we? Perfect. Wait, not that one. Shit, where was I at? Here we go. Let's move on. All right, so yeah.
Covered new government documents that reveal more shocking stories about this group, who I call
Well, he definitely has the 70s vibe going with the hair and the audio. The Pentagon's Ghostbusters. Hey, Ghostbusters were good guys, weren't they? It was a good movie. It was lighthearted. They were good people. They didn't try to screw anyone. And people said they were crazy, but in the end, you know what? They were right. Fucking real. So, calling them the Pentagon's Ghostbusters, thank you. I would take that as a compliment.
He didn't mean it as one, but yeah.
Well, he didn't, but honestly, from a licensed perspective and dealing who are the Ghostbusters and all the shit they went through, oh yes, absolutely, 100%. Let's move on.
If you've seen a news story about UFOs over the last, many of them either worked in the U.S. government or for the U.S. government.
Okay, so again, makes sense. A lot of people in the government used to work in the government, were involved in all this stuff. So we're talking about a group of people, Mike, who are involved in this stuff that
had access.
They had access to it, and they've come together after being involved with this shit because it's kind of like one of those holy fuck moments.
Yeah, because David Grush came forward. Because he said that he feels that the public has a right to know.
Oh, we do.
That we're not alone.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mike, not everybody has that same feeling.
Well, obviously not. If you listen to Stephen Greenstreet.
Okay, let me do this. Daryl, go ahead. I'm going to put it on 1.25.
This guy's a total D-bag. He goes to Skinwalker Ranch. He puts down all these people associated with Skinwalker Ranch, and he goes there and he has the audacity to say that he didn't have an experience. He had an experience on videotape. He's standing there going, "I don't know, something's going on here," and he breaks out in this rash. I mean, he's just totally disingenuous. This is his way of grifting. I hate this guy. That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you, sir. All right. If I play it back faster, I have it. Is it flipped? It's flipped. We should be able to play it back. Let's go for it.
Taxpayers' dime, in some cases, for many decades. I've spent the last few years investigating this group.
Well, no, you haven't been investigating, Stephen. You've been going ahead and writing very biased articles with regards to disclosure and everything. And really, you have such a closed mind, my God. We love you, but...
It's an embarrassment to listen to him and what he's putting out there.
I know.
Stories and claims. Beyond some spooky stories, there appears to be nothing. But despite this complete lack of evidence...
Well, no, there is something. There is a lot of evidence that was put forward, but we have to look back at the House of Representatives for not doing shit with any of the information that was provided by David Grush. Can't blame the witness. He stepped out. However, yeah.
This group continues to passionately push forward, faithfully believing that the truth is out there, and they want American...
Well, it's the truth. What does Tim Burchett always call it, Mike? It's a cover-up.
Right. Because it is. And we actually exposed that with what was going on with Nancy Mace and the last UAP hearing on November 13th. And all the shenanigans behind the scenes to prevent Matthew Brown from coming forward as a first-hand whistleblower. So, yeah, there is cover-up. Burchett is accurate with his claims.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Tax dollars to fund their crusade.
Who are the goats? The men who stare at goats. Well, the men who stare at goats, right? Yeah. This is actually Colonel John Alexander was involved in Men Who Stare at Goats. This is the start of, what do you call it? Stanford Research Institute. Have you ever seen any of the videos from, what's his name? The guy who founded it. Hal was part of it. Russell Targ. Have you seen, it's called was it the Lost TED Talk or the Missing TED Talk? And it's a TED Talk with Russell Targ. You haven't watched it yet.
I haven't seen it.
Phenomenal. Watch it. So, real? Remote viewing? Yeah. Has it been definitively used for things in the military to get the results they wanted? Yeah. Have they looked at really cool things like who's in charge of the universe and what's going on with Mars in the past, what's on the dark side of the moon, where different things going on? There's a lot of information that comes forward that really shows a lot of this stuff has got some weight behind it. So take everything with a grain of salt, but Daryl, your hand is up.
I just want to say this guy's a D-bag one more time.
Yeah.
One of the many wacky things psychic.
All right, so they want to go. Oh, now they want to go after Robert Bigelow.
Oh, yeah.
Where do we know Bigelow from?
OSAP.
Yeah, not just OSAP. He's before there was OSAP. I think.
Bass.
When was OSAP,
Bigelow
Mike?
Aerospace. That was 2008.
So okay, so I was dealing with Alexander in 2004. This is before Bass and everything was going on. So before Bass happened, at that time, Bigelow was the owner of Skinwalker Ranch, where they ran into odd things going on. They had orbs and other stuff that they were dealing with that he tried to figure out, and eventually he got pulled into doing stuff for researching UFOs, right, with OSAP, right. And he sold the ranch off at that point to its current owner,
Brendan Fugel.
Right. Yeah. Now, there were times that it was described to me with Colonel John Alexander was there with Bigelow, Burt Rattan, and God, who was the guy from Virgin again?
Richard Branson.
I think Branson was there too. All of those guys were all there. And that's when one of the times when Alexander was up on a ridge at nighttime with night vision goggles. And that's when they had seen the frickin' portal open up. And then a humanoid type creature crawled up out of it and then ran off into the woods. So, yeah, I've known about this place, and this guy is an amazing person. He spent probably more money on researching the non-human intelligence and what's going on in consciousness now than I'd say anyone else in the world.
Out of his own pocket.
Oh, yeah, out of his own pocket. So if you're going to go after him, so this is a real schmuck. He's attacking a lot of really decent people that have tried to come together and figure this out.
Right. Like Daryl said, he's the real douchebag.
Yeah.
100%.
Bigelow hired them to investigate his supposedly haunted
Investigate my spooky ranch. All right, so who else is he going to go? Now he's going to go after the late Senator Harry Reid. Wonderful. So it's just, all right, talking about the poltergeist activity that with Com Kelleher, probably after Skinwalkers, basically they had, what do they call them? Hitchhikers, right, Mike?
That's right, the hitchhiker effect.
Yeah. I've dealt with that before. Someone who has an entity that they bring along with them, and when they leave and come in contact with you at your house or someone else's house, that thing then sticks around. There was a guy who used to go ahead and investigate orbs being seen at different sites like old prisons that were shut down and decaying, and they go there at night and certain things, and they had devices to try and track this stuff. This is a long time ago, but yeah. He left something here one time. Took forever to get rid of it, but yeah, let's move on.
Activity, etc.
All right, where are we going to now? Poltergeist, okay, imminent. He's going after names. He's going after Jay Stratton, Skinwalker Ranch, of course. I guess we could go ahead and watch this, but it's just a lot of really negative.
Oh, the whole thing is.
Yeah. It's fine
and
enough.
It should be a credibility killer for him.
Were reportedly
but
shocked and outraged.
Some people are going to buy into this.
Yeah. Well, remember, if you remember, when they canceled OSAP, actually, they didn't cancel OSAP. Remember?
Yeah.
Lou told us that he was given OSAP in the morning as a portfolio, right?
Right.
And by the evening of that day, the only thing that was still left in operation from that portfolio was OSAP.
ATIP.
Right. No, you're right. ATIP. I'm sorry about that. If you were to look at the whole of General Motors, right? Imagine General Motors all falls down and goes away, and the only thing you have left standing is the Corvette division. Everything else is gone from GM, but Corvette survives. That's the kind of how we described it.
Right. That was ATIP.
Yes, ATIP, absolutely. OSAP went away. The only thing that was left was ATIP at the end of the day.
Correct. So this is a hit piece, like what he recently was involved in with the Wall Street Journal hit piece. So it's more of the same from him. And he's not even original. He's just copying what everybody else is out there doing, like Susan Goff and Sean Kirkpatrick.
Right.
And he's just jumping on the bandwagon of what they started again recently. That's really all it is.
Yeah. Not a lot there.
No.
Daryl Zernick, your hand is up, my friend.
Yeah, I just want to say, I don't know how many people would know this, but the New York Post was founded by Alexander Hamilton. And I guarantee you he would not appreciate Green Street on the payroll. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
A good point.
Exactly. Mike, I've got a picture here. It's 10,000-year-old rock art in Charama. Charama, Charama, I think I've got that right. India depicts mysterious figures and flying saucers.
Yes, it does. Documented.
Yeah. 10,000-year-old rock art.
10,000 years. That really sheds light on this whole subject.
Yeah. Hopefully it's real. There's always these things when you see things like this. It may or may not be real, but this is something that was out there. And sometimes you see the stuff and you have to play Ripley's Believe It or Not because, I feel that the whole ancient alien thing of the non-human intelligence being alongside humanity for every single time we reset to help us get going again or potentially collect things at the end like we are now before the reset happens. Yeah. It's probably reality. Daryl, your hand is up.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this is all those aliens have 4 fingers.
Yeah, you notice that, huh?
And it looks like one is a thumb.
They do.
That's interesting.
Here, let me take the picture.
Wild.
Bring it down here. Let's bring it up. Let's make it so we can zoom in, check it out a little bit. So, yeah, 4. 3 fingers and a thumb. 3 fingers and a thumb. 3 fingers and a thumb. So there is consistency. Nope, no mullets for the aliens, though. Thank you, Brendan.
Wait, does it say Bob on that guy's spacesuit? No, just kidding.
All right, let's get back to guess large. Where are we going at next? Yeah, there's so many great things in India. You look at the ancient architecture in India and the different advances of things that were out there, Mike. It goes well beyond the stuff that we have from ancient Egypt.
It predates it.
Well, it predates it, but it's even more advanced for the statues and everything that they have and all the poses, the material it's made out of, how it's like intricate with layers and like the layers are beneath it. So if you wanted to get, through something, there's actually space in there and there's no way to create that kind of stuff out of rock like they did then. It's highly advanced. So way overlooked. All right.
In the East, the West doesn't pay too much attention to that.
No, it doesn't, my friend. All right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. And let me look at the stories and everything we had, Mike. Is there anything else we haven't covered yet tonight, my friend?
No, I think we actually covered a lot tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Drones are still out there as a topic. It's still something we haven't gotten answers on. And just like the Epstein files, it's a cover-up.
Right. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah. Well, cool, my friend. Let me go ahead and get this going here. And where is it at? Frequent. Here we go. All right, I want to thank everybody for coming out to tonight's episode and Disclosure tonight. More importantly, I want to thank our friends who gave us some super chats tonight. Well, that I missed some. Brendan England, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you for your donation. Actually, I did pop it up. Thank you, Brendan. I appreciate that wonderful super chat. Let me turn off the auto chat for a second. There we go. I want to thank Mr. Grimlock for your wonderful super chat. Good show. Drones are linked with the UFO NHI UAP. Thank you. Our audience thinks so. So let's move on to Rogue ET. Thank you for your donation. Thank you, Rogue. Appreciate it. Also, FreezerMan71 for starting off the super chats tonight. The big question that needs to be answered is a statement that Eric Burleson made about David Grush briefing President. Yes, we talked about this, and it was actually a briefing of President Trump about the Nordics. Not from David Grush, though. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out here to Disclosure tonight. Mike, thank you for being here, my friend.
Oh, my pleasure, Thomas, and thank you for putting all this together. It was one hell of a show tonight.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate everybody coming around. And as we usually say at the end of every episode of Disclosure tonight, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody, but...
Go back to Party City where you belong.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.